Very good morning, class 5. I have made this new video to explain you a new chapter that we have already started in an online class. Chapter number 4, measurement of length, weight and capacity. In this first video of the same chapter, I am going to explain you the measurement of length. You can see here I have won this chart. This chart is going to help you to understand the place value of the measurement of the different units of length. Firstly, before let me explain you this particular chart. Children, there are different units to measure the length of the different things. If you have to measure the length of the smaller things, then we'll have the lower units. You can see on the right hand side of the standard unit meter, there are 3 units. All these 3 are the lower units. Here we have the first lower unit, which is called decimeter, denoted by dm. Then we have centimeter, which is denoted by cm, and millimeter, which is written as mm. So all these are the lower units, which are for the smaller lengths. And this is our standard unit of the length, which is called meter. We can also show it as the base unit of the length. Now, if you will look at the left hand side of the base unit, there are 3 units. All these 3 units are the higher units, and they are mostly used for the things which are longer in length. So this is our first higher unit, which is called decameter, denoted as DAM. Next one is hectometer, denoted as HM, and the last one is kilometer, which is denoted as km. Now, these are the different units of the length. Now, let's understand how to learn the sequence. I am telling you one trick to remember the sequence of these different units. Now, please listen to me carefully. As kilometer starts from K, so it's like kahan hai Delhi mein DCM. This is one of the trick to remember the sequence, and there is one another. King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. So if you remember any of these 2 tricks, you can make this chart very easily within few seconds. Let me repeat both the tricks once again. Kahan hai Delhi mein DCM. The other one, King Henry died, mother didn't cry much. So if you remember these 2 lines, you can make the chart very easily. Now this was about how to learn them, how to learn the different units. Now the second thing, how to learn their values. That's another thing that's also very easy. If you will see the chart carefully, here when we are moving towards the left hand side of the base unit, like this is my base unit meter. If you'll see, if I'm going towards the left hand side, at every left step, it is being increased by 10. Here it's 10 meter. Let's go to the next one. It is further increased by 1 more 10. So it's 100 meter. Then further next step, it is again increased by 1 more 10. So it's thousands. So this is the way to remember. This is thousands, hundreds, tens. However, let's move to the opposite side. Here it is being decreased by 110. Here when you are going towards the right side of this standard unit, it is 1 by 10, which we also say as tenths. Then it's again decreased by 1 more 10, which is called hundreds. And 1 more, which is called thousands. So this way you can remember their values. Standard unit in the center, this is 10 meter, this is 100 meters, and this is 1000 meters. However, in the right hand side, it's tenths, hundreds and thousands. So this way you can learn their values also, and I've already told you one trick to remember the sequence of the different units. Now let's come further. With this chart only, I have written here, you can see standard unit of the length is meter, higher units kilometer. So here we have 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters, hectometer, 1 hectometer is equals to 100 meters. So from this chart only, I have written all these values, all these 3 higher units and 3 lower units. So this was all about to learn the different units in a sequence and to learn their values. Now we have to do one thing more. Like whenever we are converting any particular unit to any other unit, there are 2 things that you have to remember. Whenever you are converting from It's about the conversion I'm telling you right now. Whenever you are converting from high unit to low, always remember, high unit to low, you will always multiply. Remember this. However, when you are doing opposite, from low unit to high, you will always divide. If you will have this thing in your mind, it is going to help you always. And you will never do your mistake. High to low, you will always multiply. And when you are doing from low unit to high unit, you will always divide. So with what you have to multiply and with what you have to divide, I'm going to tell you that also. Let's take one example. Suppose you have 4 kilometers. And you have to convert this into meters. Now see, 4 kilometer has to be converted into meters. Now first thing, it should be there in your mind, like you are converting from high unit to low unit, because kilometer is the highest unit of the length and meter is the lower unit in comparison to the km. So you are going from high to low. From high to low, you have to multiply. Now with what you have to multiply? Let me tell you that thing also. You have to go from km to m. So how many steps you are going from km to m? This is your first step, second and third step. So you are taking 3 jumps to go from there. So as you have to take 3 jumps, so it means you have to multiply with the 3 powers of 10 to get your answer. So you are going to multiply with 4 with 1000, and in this way you will have your final answer, 4000 meter. Either you can remember their values, otherwise you can go for this trick, like how many jumps you have to take to go to that particular unit. With that power you have to multiply if you are going from high to low. However, if you are doing the opposite, you have to divide. Let me take one example for that case also. Let's suppose I have this. I have to convert 7 centimeter to meters. Now see, I have to convert centimeters to meters, means I have to go from low unit to high unit. So one thing is clear, that I have to divide here. Now with what you have to divide? Either you can learn the values in your mind, or there is another way, like let's move. This is my centimeter. I have to go to meter. So this is my first step jump and this is my second step jump. So I have taken 2 jumps, means I am going to divide with 2 powers of 10. So it will be divided by 2 powers of 10. So that's so easy. You just have to check how many steps you have to go, left or right. And one thing you have to keep in your mind, whether you are going from high unit to low unit, you have to multiply, or from low to high, you have to divide. So let's get this answer. When you have to divide this with 100, you will have it in meters. So this is, we have done this in decimals, 2 zeros in the denominator, means you will have 2 decimal places. So I can write it as 0.07 meters. So in this way we can convert any unit to any other unit by just following 2 things, that whenever you are going from high unit to low, you have to multiply, or when you are doing from low unit to high unit, you just have to divide. So there are 2 ways I have already explained you. One thing is that you can learn their values, or the other ways is that you just have to see how many steps you are going to that particular unit. With that power, you will either multiply or divide. So this was all about measurement of length, and I expect that this videos will definitely help you to learn about this place value chart. Thank you children. We'll meet you next week once again.